Hi, this video will be talking about the daily procedure of a tools person or tools room management person, which would be to check out and check in the tools back. So, as the word tells you, check out is nothing else but giving out the tools to the employees, and check in is nothing else but getting it back from them. So, you have these many tools here. So, whenever somebody requires to check out a tool, you can go to the asset checkout screen, which is like this, where you have a create button. And when you click on that create button, it'll come back with a screen where you can give out the information. Now, please note that by default, when you have an employee, the employee card would be having an RFID. So you just need to tap that RFID, which will actually provide you the tools, the employee's name there. Now, in this case, I'm just selecting manually, employee's name. The reason is like I do not have an RFID for the showing purpose, but I do have RFID for the tools. So what I'm doing here is once I've selected the employee, I'm just clicking on the RFID, which will actually go back and search for the tool in the system. So what I do here is I take my RFID tool and I take it to the RFID on the tools which is sticked onto it, and I just have to tap it. So just a minute, I'm just turning on my RFID tool. So as you can see there, I just tapped it. I did not use the key, mouse, or anything. The same moment it automatically came back with the product. It identified the product, what is a product, and what is a last checked out condition. So last time when it was checked in by somebody else, I mean, the condition was good, so they returned it in a good condition. So you are going to give it to Mr. Muhammad Abdur Rauf Jamal in a condition which is again good. Now, in your real case scenario, you might be having multiple, you know, tools which you'll be giving. So you can keep on tapping on all the tools and it will be adding it automatically. Some tools might not have RFID, as we know. In such cases, you can use this add, and when you use the add button, it'll show you the list like this, wherein it might not have the pictures. So if you want to see the pictures along with that, click on the search more button. So you can see that it'll even show you with the the entire detail. So let's say that if I'm looking for hammer, so just have to put hammer, so it'll show all the hammers where you will have all the photographs along with that. So or else another thing which you are using is like you have a serial number or a asset number there. So you just put there ABC123 and it'll pull out that as well. So there is a search condition which is applied on the name, serial number, part number, and internal reference. So all these four informations, any of this information you would be able to give it. Now, just for an information purpose, name is a name which you're giving it to us. Internal reference is RFID code which is going to be there. Part number is nothing else but you have part numbers like SKF2 or something like that. So when I open this one, this in you have put this as internal reference. We call this as part number. Here you call this we call this as part number MBW2 589. This number would be part number for us, and this internal reference would be the serial number because you are putting some serial number for your identification. So that will be the serial number for us. So you would be able to search with any of this content and you would be able to find the product which you're actually looking for. Now, when you find any of this product, you can just click on that product, which will actually pull out the condition, whatever it is there, if it was defined inside the system. And what you can do here is save and check out. So basically, what we have done here is for this Abdur Rahman, Abdur Rauf Jamal, there's a person's name. I have given two product. Now, the same information would be able to see it from any of the employee. So let's say that if I try to pull out any employee's record, and if I open that employee detail, and if you go to the asset assigned assets, you can see that there is two assets which is currently assigned to him. So there is something called as hammer and pedal lifting device. These two devices are currently assigned to Mr. Abdur Rauf Jamal. So you can even find out who is having that detail. Similarly, you can also find out the same information from the asset part of it. That is like if I open the asset, it tells you that who is currently having that asset. So it is very clearly mentioned here that the asset is currently assigned to the employee called as so and so. And all those details will be inside the system as well. Now, typically what happens here is when you go to the asset checkout process, the employee will be checking in this asset whenever they are completed with the check-in process. So basically, you can select that asset. You can select that employee, and just like what you did last time, you can just use your RFID, and you can just tab on the RFID, which will actually find out the assets whatever is there under him. Now, the beauty here is nothing else but it will not show all the assets in the check-in window. It will only show those assets which is checked out by that employee to the screen back to you. So, if you are looking only for pedal, you can only get the pedal lifting screen and you can check in that, which means that you have returned one product, you still have another one more product with the employee. So let's say that we go back to the employee screen this time and see how it looks like. So what you can see here is you can see the asset assigned. One asset is gone from here. The same time in the history, it is telling that this employee have collected this asset in this time and this is when he have returned it. So all these histories will be there inside the system. Now, what we'll do here is we'll again go back and we'll do a check-in process once again. So this time we are going to do the check-in for the other asset. Now, at any point of time, an asset which was in a good condition has gone bad or average, you can mark that. Unless and until you mark it, it will not change it. If you mark it, the next time onwards, the asset's condition would be changed automatically. Now, we changed the hammer, which was in a good condition, to a average condition. So basically, what happens here is when you go to the asset this time, you can see that the asset, history would be keeping a track of it, where it tells that the condition was good when it was given to this employee, but it became average when it was returned. So you would also be getting all those details, based on the information that you require. Now, similarly, what we also would be able to see here is you can go to the employee's detail here and you can try to pull out his records. And when you pull out his records in the account history, you can see the second product is also returned. Now, when you go to the assigned, asset, nothing will be there. Now, if you look at the damaged asset, it'll not have damage unless and until you say that an asset has been damaged. So there is the damage condition which is given only for one type of the uh, condition. So you have the good, which is not a damaged one. You have average, which is not a damaged one. You have damaged, which is having a damaged one. So let's do one thing. What happens is when you have an employee checked out an asset and if it is returned in a damaged condition. So you can see that last time it was good, but this time it became average. So I'm just checking it out. And while checking in, I'm telling that this product has been damaged. So basically, what I'm trying to say here is I'm returning the product in a damaged screen. Now, from this moment onwards, whenever you open the employee records and damaged assets, you will see that how many assets has been damaged by this employee at any point of time. So it keeps a track of all those information within the system. So that's how you do the check-in and check-out. It's pretty straightforward. Go to the checkout window, create and tab the employee card and the RFID. And those assets which does not have an RFID, you can use a search more button and you can search it with the name, with the internal reference, with the serial number, or with the part number. You can search it and you would be able to get it. And you can click on the checkout button. And similarly, you can do the check-in process. So this is how you do the checkout and check-in process of the system. Now, one last thing which you would really require to know about here is, now let's assume that one of the asset has become bad or damaged. Now, even if it is damaged, it is available for you to check out or check in the assets. So let's say that if I put it by statuses, it will be available. But at the same time, if you look at it by the, let me just put it this way, statuses, it is available. But at the same time, if you look at the quality, you can see that You have one which is on good, one which is damaged. So let's say that, if I want to have this damaged asset to be removed from the searching process of giving the asset for somebody else, you have the provision where you can use the disposed. So when you dispose it, it'll keep a track of that system when it was disposed and all those information, and it will not be available going forward for the checkout process. So, for example, if I was looking for the same hammer this time, I would not be able to see that same hammer because that has been removed from the checkout process. However, the system is having that records, but it is not available for the processes. So that is the check-in checkout process, how you can actually check in an asset or check out an asset. The next video we'll talk about the asset audit, and then we would be able to continue with the reporting training in detail. Thank you.